All right. What has it been like to have, ooh, yes, this is a juicy one. What has it been like to have a feminine core in a masculine dominated field? So, as we were just talking about being in the fitness industry, that is a very masculine dominated field. It's all about doing, it's all about pushing, competition, control, ego. Oh my God, ego is so involved in that. And I fully admit that I got lost in that for a long time. It was all about pushing and competing against the next person, about seeing what my body is capable of, and pushing myself no matter how tired I was or how much I had going on. There was always this goal. And don't get me wrong, I still have goals, but I lost sight of that feminine energy of just being. I lost sight of what it means to just sink into my body, of when my body is telling me that she's tired and she needs a break, just being with that and connecting even with our cycles. Our cycles determine so much about our movements. And
we were just saying, we're like, we can't wait for the luteal phase where we're filled with energy and we're not
yes,
just suffering.
Yes, and I've started really trying to hone in on working with my cycle phases, of being in that natural space of, when do I have the most energy? When do I have the least amount of energy? And not that I don't want to move when I have the least amount of energy, but doing movement that supports my feminine body versus staying in that masculine energy of pushing and pushing. Listen, men are incredible. Women are incredible. Men and women have different requirements. Women, we are not designed to be workhorses. Anna Rova talks about that. She is all about the feminine energy. And she talks about our bodies are literally designed to not be workhorses, but yet we push ourselves to be workhorses. And I kind of am an envy of, way back in the day when women used to have the red tents.
I want to have a red tent.
Think
Hey, we are having our own red tent.
We kind of are having
That's
our own red
moon.
tent. Yes.
We got our wine.
Where where women get to be released from their everyday responsibilities, and they get to go out into nature and be with other women and be supported during their moon cycles and their moon phases. And there is really something to that. There's wisdom in our moon phases. There is wisdom to us being connected to the moon and to our cycles and to nature. We are built differently than men, ladies. We are not men. We should not want to be treated like men. We want to have our space and our time as women to embody our women, our femininity, and so that's been one of the biggest challenges is, I have that competitive edge, because we're all feminine and masculine. We all have both energies. And so my masculine energy totally gets activated when I go to the gym. I get into that competitive mode. I used to be an athlete. I used to be a competitive swimmer. I used to be a volleyball player. I used to, I was very competitive, and I still totally have that. And so when I get into that environment and I look at other people and I'm like, I just want to push, 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 push. And that's not so healthy. We need that balance to, come back into ourselves where there's so much feedback. There's so much feedback into dropping into our bodies, and so much we can learn about our health and wellness, being in that space of individuation, basically, like not comparing ourselves to other people, of really sinking into that space of who we are as women. So, Yeah, it's been a challenge to balance out that feminine and masculine in that industry where it is masculine dominated.
You know, it's funny because I was a personal trainer for years, like forever. And I still take personal training clients. But I no longer work in a male dominated field. Yoga and yoga therapy specifically is so female dominated, but I'm noticing having to put forth. So if we were to reduce and simplify, the masculine energy is action and the feminine energy is being and stillness and receptivity. So I know in order to be a functional human, we have both.
Yes.
So when I'm in my business mind and running a business and running my life, running my livelihood as a single woman, I am active. I'm selling and engaging with people and having to go out in the world and like teach pretty physical classes um, and even though I'm creative in many ways and that is a feminine energy, there's still work and there's still a busyness. And I noticed that for me, it was translated into my dating life where I was meeting men and being like, ooh, I don't know if this is going to be an energetic compliment because I'm a lot in my masculine energy from day to day. And I'm noticing that I'm staying in that masculine energy more than I want to be there. So I noticed I was starting to attract men that were not really wanting to pursue and not really wanting to take the lead. And, you know, that's fine. Like I'm comfortable enough with both of my energies to take the lead when it's necessary. But I don't want to set the tone of a relationship in my masculine because I want to make sure that my person can do that regularly and take that load off of me. Because it's not my core essence. It doesn't come naturally to me. It doesn't feel energizing. It feels depleting rather. And I think with the right complement, I'll be energized by being in my feminine. He will be energized by being in his masculine. So that's what I'm looking for. So it's made me a little bit more hesitant in dating when I'm in my business high season to be like, oh, I need to go a little bit slower. I need to see you in a variety of situations to see if that's really where you presently are and to see if we can complement each other when I'm able to down regulate and relax back into my feminine. Because for me, that's not an immediate process to go and work.
Right.
You know, I might teach for 4 hours straight and then quickly shower and then create 3 more hours of content and be on a call and be on an interview and then be on another thing and wrap up promptly at 7 and rush to get ready for a date at 8 o'clock. And like that's all. It might be fun work, but it's still work. So I know for me, very difficult for me to gauge when I'm in my not normal state. It's like walking a tightrope and then trying to judge, like you're walking a tightrope and then someone's like, hit that bullseye with this football, and you're like, I'll do my best.
No, that is so true, and that is such an important topic you bring up. Is how does that translate into dating? You know, especially in today's modern society where women are encouraged to be just as active as men. So that has actually created a polarity confusion. Oh my gosh, and that's a whole other topic.
That's a whole different
interview. You know, but you're right. Like, you know, being able to shift back into, listen, I love being feminine. You know, that is my core essence as well, is being I love and I hate this word, submissive.
Ooh, yeah. Triggering word for me too.
Yes. I both love and I hate the word. Because when I think about submissive, I don't think about that 50s housewife, where I'm in an apron and I'm curtailing to every single thing that my partner wants, because I mean, anyone who knows me knows that is not me. I mean, listen, I can cook a good meal, but I don't, I don't want to be a slave to the patriarchy. But at the same time, I don't, I am so masculine in so many other aspects of my life, my business. I'm a single mom, all of these things that I don't want to be in control of every single thing. I want to be led. I want to be guided in a healthy, beneficial, nurturing way. I want to be nurtured. I don't want every aspect of my life to be controlled and dictated. I just want to be. So, I want, like, I crave that concept of submissiveness without the old school concept behind it.
So I think for me, what feels very therapeutic with the idea of being submissive is the BDSM version.
Woo! Yes.
So in the BDSM community, like the real community where people know what they're doing and they're not just like, I like kink.
Yeah. I do like kink though.
Everyone likes some kink. But in that community, in order to let someone dominate you, there needs to be so much trust and so much conversation and so much consent. And you've vetted this person thoroughly. And there's a safe word and there's all these different protocols that are put in place. They're not assumed. They're not, I hope they know like where my boundary is. It's hashed out. It's like two lawyers going to court with all of their terms and going through every possible scenario to make sure that they have an airtight agreement where there's no gray area. And that's when, only after those agreements have been put in place, does anything happen.
Right.
And so I think that that is a therapeutic idea for me right now of I will submit when you have proven and I have your word, and your word is also in integrity and not just stuff that comes out of your face.
Yeah.
when I'm able to trust that what you say and what you do are the same thing consistently over a long period of time, over a variety of situations, that gives me the ability to trust in order to submit without fear.
Yeah, no, 100%.
To prove that in your masculine, you are truly able to lead me and to uphold me and to respect me and to protect, because that's the masculine essence. And
100%.
We're not asking our partners to be perfect.
No.
But because we're learning, like we don't know everything.
Yes.
But we don't want to. We're not trying to date the fantasy either. But that's important learning, and I think sexuality is very sacred. It's taken too quickly. Not getting preachy, but speaking from my own personal life and experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you brought up two very important words: integrity and protect. So that's part of that masculine energy, is to protect. And it's also standing in that integrity of word and action align. And not just sometimes, consistently.
Yeah.
And so that is my honest desire as well, is to have that concept of submission with someone that I know is going to protect not just my physical body, but my heart, my heart and my mind and my spiritual essence and my creative essence, because I want to be able to fully submit, in that, in many ways, many layers, and so when I can have a man stand in his integrity and his words and actions align over time, there's so much freedom within that. So much freedom to receive and to give, and not give in a masculine way, but give in that feminine embodiment way. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, being that we're not perfect and we are both energies, we're not always able to um, execute upon what we think our best interest is, or be always in our integrity. We might want
Correct.
to. So I those I'm grasping for words, but it's not always a red flag. Sometimes it's a yellow flag. And it's a point to hold your partner accountable, because I
Mhm.
think as we enter this new paradigm of being really truly complementary, healthy energies,
Yes.
we want to help our partners improve and they want to help us improve. So the dialogue is going to be very important. I forgot where I was going with this. Um, Let me stew for a moment. Stew the gumbo pot.
Yes.
I'm like looking at my shorts. I'm like, my mom would be so sad. She would be so sad if she saw me wearing these shorts. But yeah, I guess that idea is not coming back to me.
It may come from the next question.
It may come for the next question. Let's make this our last one.